So here is the caliper holder, which also holds the brake pads. You can see it usually makes a good sense to take a note where which pad came from. A good indicator is these round two circular imprints that from a the cylinder, the brake cylinder. So this way I know this pad when I'm matching up the new pads, and you can see the shims are here. If your set of brake pads did not come in with these two new shims, you will need to clean them off. I generally use a sandpaper and or a wire brush and a little bit of brake cleaner. I try to make them as brand new looking as possible, basically removing all the crud and residue. But yeah, same thing when it comes to the holder. There's going to be some rust underneath of it. That should also be cleaned off to the bare metal as much as possible using brake cleaner and or wire brush. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take these apart. They're giving me a little bit of resistance, so I'm just going to use my pry bar and just get these pads off of these shims, get the shims off. I have a set of brand new, so I'm just going to go back and clean off the holder with a wire brush, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the pads off just using a hammer. I had it positioned this way and just kind of they're kind of sitting like this in there. So I just used the hammer and kind of like so bang them out of the place. Now, as you can see, these shims need to come off, and that's pretty easy with just a screwdriver. Placing a screwdriver right in the slot, just comes right off. Same thing on the upper one. I'm doing it with one hand, so imagine how easy it is with if you have two hands available. So yeah, as you can see right here, this will all need to be cleaned off. Same thing with this guy. If you don't have new one, then this all needs to be cleaned off. Same thing on this side. Yeah, it's pretty nasty stuff. This is all corrosion that built over the years. Yep, so that's what I'm gonna do next. Take my I have a wire brush and sandpaper, 36 grit sandpaper, and just clean it off. Okay, my brake caliper holder looks better and better. I got I'm using a little brush from my gun cleaning kit, but so all these crevices up here I took care of. Same thing on the other side. Occasionally I have to scrape some of the old residue from disc brake quiet. I just used the knife to scrape it off. Here is when I turn it on the other side. Yeah, the important part is to get all the loose crap out of there. Then after you're done with that, you can just go back with a brake cleaner and clean it all off, and you should be all set, good to go. My hands are progressively getting dirtier and dirtier. I choose not to use gloves. Some people choose to use them. I'll pay the price afterwards. So that's done. Next I'm going to show how I'm spraying the the brake. After I clean this off with a brake cleaner, disc brake quiet on the shims. Okay, here are my shims. My caliper is drying off. I just sprayed it with a disc brake cleaner. My disc brake quiet spray. I don't know how much I bought it for. I bought it years ago and did a whole bunch of cars. Been doing the cars with my own brakes for over 12 years now, and same can. So here we go. Just tiny bit. And it's got to go on on a portion that mates with a holder. little bit, just enough to cover it up. I'll let it sit for a few minutes. It's gonna be tacky, and then I'm just gonna let it adhere to this, and then while it's still tacky, I'll give it like maybe 2-3 minutes and install it onto the brake caliper. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for this, on the other side I'm going to clean off with a sandpaper the cylinder from the master, yeah, the brake cylinder. I'm gonna clean off this portion with just a sandpaper. Yeah, while that's drying. Okay, this is cleaned off. As you can see, appears to be stainless steel. I just sanded it down and cleaned it off with a brake cleaner. The important part is, nobody's expecting miracles out of this thing up here. But the important part is to get the sharp edges off of it, so off of this ring, so that membrane, when it compresses and decompresses, don't get punctured. But if it's really bad, then it's not meant to be. It should have been replaced to begin with. But yeah, just take a quick look, make sure nothing's leaking, no fluid is leaking. That will indicate that if there's no leaks, indicates that the brake caliper is in a pretty good shape. Mine appears to be in a fairly good shape. Yeah, I'll give it a little bit of extra scrub in here with the sandpaper, and I should be set to go. The other stuff is I just sprayed it, I scrubbed it a little bit extra. Now I'm gonna install these shims. Like I said, they're still a little tacky, but I'm taking this part and it's gonna mate here. You can see it's almost a good fit, so I'm just gonna squeeze it on up here on the bottom. You can see this part has to fit in, and then what do you know, it's almost like it's made for it. Squeeze it in, and here we go, it's all in. So on the sides you should see something like this and like this, and the second one, same thing, just give it nice. It's a lot easier to be done if you use both hands, but if I can do it with one hand, anybody can do it with both hands. Now I'm getting all tacky. Anyway, usually good practice is to start from the bottom portion, get those clips in, and then finish it off on the top. There we go. So here we are. Now the holder is loaded with shims. Alright, now going back to the cylinder, brake caliper, I'm sorry. It seems to be all drying up nicely. There's a little bit of extra fluid in here. Give it a few more minutes, let it dry out. And then I'm going to also apply a little bit of a disc brake right on top of this ring, since this is going to directly contact the brake pad. I'm just going to give it a second right across just to slightly cover it up, and you could put it right on the disc, on the pad itself as well. Maybe I'll do it that way, I'll put it on a pad. That's what I do on the other side. Okay, I got a little bit of a brake disc quiet on these caliper cylinders. Now I'm gonna install the rotor back. If I can do it with one hand. There we go, the rotor is back. You can see my graffiti on it. Just little things to help it break in. Like I said, these are barely scratches. Now if we trace back, these guys go back on. At this point I can probably just push them by hand. I'm not too concerned getting all the way in, because the wheel lug will do the job on it. So the only thing to remember, as long as they're on opposite sides. So here's the second one. I'm just using my fingers here to push them in, but if you want to save fingers, you can use the pliers as well. But this will work. Now I got my upper set of screws all cleaned off and the lower set of screws all cleaned off. The caliper holder, the actual caliper screws, caliper screws. I'm gonna put a little bit of that lubricant, high temperature lubricant on it. Some people use grease. I prefer. I don't like to use grease. It breaks down with a high temperature, so I prefer the silver stuff. But like I said, I'm not sure if I'm doing the correct thing. Just when it breaks, it never failed on me. Knock on wood. So I'm gonna go back and reassemble. I'm gonna put a holder on first. I'm gonna take a quick video how that's secured back in, and then we're gonna put a caliper, brake pads and then caliper back in. So holder goes on next using the two 18mm bolts, and there is the caliper holder right there. So we're gonna install it next. Here we are. I'm installing the caliper holder. It sits just the same way we took it off. So here is the 18mm upper screw, just hand tightening it so it sits well. I did put some of this anti-seize lubricant on the threads, so that next time it's a little easier for me to break them loose. But yeah, initially I prefer to do as much as I can by using my fingers, and then start using the 18mm socket. And on the upper one, same deal. I will put the camera down, the phone down, so that I can tighten it. I'm sure there is a specific torque requirement for these, but I don't know what it is. I might Google it and do it to that. On the previous video I just hadn't tightened it as much as I could, so that's what I will on that. But if it requires, I suggest you do your own research and use manufacturer's requirements for torquing those two bolts, or any of the bolts for what matters.